I'm joined by Ed Fritsch, 2016 NAREIT Chair, and the President and CEO of Highwood Properties. Ed, you're handing over the reins now to Tim Naughton of Avalon Bay, who'll be the 2017 NAREIT Chair. Tell us, what was the most interesting thing you learned about the REIT industry in your time as chair?
Well, first, I was flattered to have the opportunity to be able to do that. It's a real honor, and it's an honor to follow the people who have preceded me in the role, such strong icons in the industry. So to be able to be a part of that is very flattering. I think the biggest thing that I learned in that, Alan, is just how good the NAREIT organization is orchestrated and run. I think once you have an opportunity to be in the chair role and have such a level of connectivity and communication with Steve and his team, I think the biggest takeaway is how fortunate we are to have NAREIT and the association and the work that the team does.
And looking at the REIT industry, we're in kind of a unique time around the globe. I mean, the Brexit. We've had, just finished up the national election. Are REITs going to be able to continue to deliver attractive returns in that kind of environment?
I think they will. REITs since the modern REIT era, REITs have enjoyed a wonderful trajectory of growth. There have certainly been obstacles and bumps along the way, the Great Recession clearly being one of them. But the outcome of those tests of fire is that it makes REITs even stronger. And so I don't know that REITs have ever had a better collective balance sheet than they have today. I don't know that REITs have ever had a better portfolio than they have today. And I don't think REITs have ever had a time where they've been more professionally run, leveraging technology and systems and procedures and management that's aligned with shareholders' interests than they have today. And I think those three things stapled together will certainly make REITs able to continue the trajectory that they've enjoyed with ebbs and flows along the way, like as you would normally expect. But I think the REIT industry will continue to enjoy good growth based on those three factors and plenty of others.
And looking at Highwoods, line of business in the office sector, how is the company kind of adjusting and adapting to some of the trends in the usage of space?
So the usage of space is a swinging pendulum that I don't think ever comes to rest. And so it's kind of like ties, fat, narrow, fat, narrow. And so the way that space is being used now, there's obviously been a lot of good conversation over the past several years about me space versus we space. So the space that's allocated to you versus the space that you and I would use collectively. And so there's been a contraction overall in the space that's been allocated to each of us. But there's been a reciprocating dramatic expansion in the space that we use collectively. And I think there's no more vivid example than the break room. So I've been at Highwoods going on 35 years, and for so many years you knew where the break room was going. In some near the core windowless area that was 12 by 12 with a laminate floor and a drink machine and a cracker machine and a small table and plastic chairs. Now we don't build out an office space where the break room is more often than not on glass and in the corner, and it's got a sub-zero refrigerator and Keurig machines and upholstered furniture and a foosball table and a plasma screen, and it's different. So the amount of space that's being allocated to where we go and have that communal activity versus the space that's allocated to me for a workspace has changed, but the overall demise premise, the size of that, really hasn't changed dramatically.
And what about just the demand for space in general? In terms of appetite maybe among tenants in, say, the mid-tier markets versus the gateways?
So the gateways will always be important nucleus of commerce for the United States. Those six major cities will always be those six major cities, I think. But I do think that mid-tier markets have gone through a renaissance, in particular with their urban core downtown areas, where there are now people living there, and there's programmed activities, and there's cultural events, and there's sporting events, and there are grocery stores that are coming. So with the restaurants and the activities, et cetera, it's an added market where people can get an urban experience without being in one of those 6.
Well, Ed, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on a great year as NAREIT Chair.
Thank you. It was an honor to be able to do it.
And for more on this and other real estate news and analysis, be sure to visit REIT.com.